Guys, we're back. Let's go. Tuesday night chillin' chat. Couldn't come soon enough, right? I mean, I miss you guys. I know you miss me. You miss engaging with the chat and the other home arcade community members that stop on by here and have some fun. Not only do we talk retro gaming, guys, but we talk about the arcades, and we are in the thick of it, guys, because we got some news on Glenn's FU Kickstarter that is going to be happening towards the end of the month. And little shout out to that. Reached out to Glenn a few days ago. We kind of been exchanging emails, and we're gonna get him on the show hopefully the day before the Kickstarter goes live. So if you guys got those last minute questions you want to ask, he'll be there to answer those, and we'll have a fun time as always. Glenn's a hell of a guy, and I love having him on. Guys, we got some Arcade1up news. IGN Live, what is going on here? We're gonna talk about that, guys. Shout out to Bill for covering that, and Keo Dyken for being there. We're actually going to play his video on the show here. And guys, you know, I was wondering, I was laying down thinking to myself today, you know, Basic Fun is listening, right? And they got their roadmap planned out. But if they're listening to us in the community, you know, we've been told this before, so we're a little shy. We've been burned before. But if they're listening to us, guys, I think we should give up some suggestions on titles that could be made. Can you believe it? If somebody stumbled upon this show, or I just told them, you know, that, hey, there's certain titles that X amount of people want. If they can get that licensing, if they find interest in it, your voice could be heard, guys, right here tonight. And that's a crazy thing. Like, your vote can actually matter. You know what I mean? Like, that could be nuts. You could actually get the game you want if we go ahead and say it. Obviously within reason, you know, nobody's gonna want to, you know, what a sit down monstrosity machine. Like what are those new shooters from Raw Thrills, like the Evil Deads or whatever with the crossbows and all that jazz. I forgot. Night of the Dead, Walking Dead. Help me out. I think it's Walking Dead, guys. No one's gonna make that. It's like a $15,000 machine, but within reason for retro gaming, guys, I think we can come up with some cool titles for Basic Fun to, I don't know, maybe get some ideas and set the wheels turning a little bit, guys. We got a huge show. What do we say? We're always chilling, chatting, walking and talking, moving and grooving, squatting and speaking, guys. This is the Let's Go show, so let's get this party started, guys. I'm going to say hi to, before we start anything, I'm going to say hi to each and every one of you guys in the building. So let me scroll all the way up, as always, to be me. He's first, guys. He is first. He's here. Swell guy. Met him and his kids in person, so awesome mensch there. Let's go. Thank you for stopping by, man. Vic Vicious is second, one of my newest moderators in the building. Close second. Is Basic Fun really listening? Because I've been asking for renders for cabs for months now. And hopefully, you know, we played that podcast on one of my, I went on a streaming spree, guys. And you know, we heard the podcast again from January, and they might be looking at like 2 titles now, like, you know, initially 2 titles, but there might have been more down there in the building. We don't know because we weren't there, right? So you start to gauge, like, you know, you listen and you kind of just put yourself in their shoes. Okay, what are they looking at? What are they pointing at? And, you know, we got confirmed that, okay, WrestleFest, we knew that was there. We saw the guy playing it. We showed the pictures, right? And then, you know, Centipede, I didn't know if that was there or not, but could a Star Wars or a Turtles have been there as well? Maybe both of them. Could those also be coming? Because whatever was on the show floor, guys, that's what's coming Q4. So let's get ready. Of course, more titles is more better, guys. Mike Hawker's another one of my moderators getting the Let's Go with a little Johnny Cage action. Absolutely love it, guys. If you're channel members like Prince Vinny here, you get to use those emojis that Mike Hawkers is displaying and get a little badge action of the Let's Go, and you get to see some behind the scenes. So it's always worth that for me. You know, for 99 cents a month, you get all that cool stuff. Let's go. Woohoo! There you go, Prince Vinny. J-Rod, thank you literally for always being here. I mean, this is a solid crew right here. The guys, you know, if you're new to the show, the names that I'm always reading off, you guys are always here and always paying attention, always listening, at least for the first 10 minutes, right? I appreciate you guys stopping by, like my man Dan Z here. Thank you so much, man, for being here. Let's go. Let me keep scrolling here. Stupid Fat Hobbit's got a big one for us. Just do the whole stream on Basic Fun. The rest of your other topics have been covered by everybody else. Speculation cabs never gets old. We will talk about that. That'll probably be a majority of the show. But I did want to touch up on some things, you know, because I always say this, right? Not everybody is subscribed to everybody. Now, I kind of have a feeling here that Dan Z, Stupid Fat Hobbit, Prince Vinny, Mike Hawkers, Vic Vicious, you know, you guys, Sir Saga, I saw you here. that you got Ted Adam Green, like you keep going down, you guys are probably subscribed to everybody, right? But I like myself, like I only am subscribed to people that literally talk about home arcade. That's it. I don't want to hear about nothing else. I don't care about the Switch, even though I love it. It's cool. Me and my wife can play it for days. I don't need to be subscribed to that. I don't care about any Switch 2 updates or anything like that. Anything else besides, I don't even really remember my subscriptions, but it's very, very small. It's people that might be my friends or just like really talk about retro gaming. That's it. Like home arcades. That's it. Maybe a little bit of real arcades. I got some real arcade restoration channels that do phenomenal work. The Time Rift Arcade. Oh my God, those guys are not only so polite and cool, like just a bunch of older nerd guys, but they do phenomenal work. And like it really inspires me to be like, yo, I could do that. You know, just like when I make the videos of modding, like, yo, we could do that. Speaking of modding and Stupid Fat Hobbit, we will talk a lot about a cool stuff today. But speaking of modding, guys, Ezekiel has messaged me up, guys, and he was like, Danny, this is available. And I'm like, okay. Then Dr. Z sent me an email and said, Danny, this is available. It's the same thing. I'm like, okay, lightning doesn't strike twice, guys. We got to go ahead and get it. So somebody was selling on eBay the control panel and PCB board for Frogger. That's right. I have made that purchase. So we're going to be putting Frogger in this Pac-Man Deluxe Cabaret cabinet anytime now. When it comes in, I'm going to swap it in immediately so I can play, you know, Time Pilot 81 and Frogger. Hopefully it works. My big question. I always am skeptical about buying this stuff, but hopefully it works. And then we're going to have to, you know, dress it up as a Frogger cabinet, you know? And the cool thing about doing this is not only was actually, this was my wife's, one of her favorite games. Just that Gen 1 was so bad, you know, the washed out marquee, you know, there's a riser, obviously the swan design, like, you know, just, we didn't know. I thought for sure that something like this would be remade. We all did, guys. We all thought we were going to get Deluxe Tron, you know, Deluxe Star Wars, Deluxe Frogger, you name it, right? But we never did. And so now these cabinets are more kind of sought after. And, you know, it begs the question of like, wow, like this mod's going to look phenomenal. I'm telling you, when Joe Zabos gets that package on there, this is the Deluxe Frogger that we as a community should have deserved to have gotten a long time ago. I digress though. Ezekiel was nice enough to get me that cabinet for Christmas. So I really want to make it up to him and do this project for him because he was really pushing for it. And I really want to see this actually come to fruition and make my wife happy too. But I mean, down the line, if we were to, let's say, go XL like several years, right? Let's say we're getting filled. I mean, that might be a sought after cabinet if you think about it. You know, a deluxe Frogger, nobody's gotten it, nobody's has it. Might be worth something, you know, and it could always, you know, flip or resell to the highest bidder kind of thing. Much like a lot of like this deluxe Darkstalkers, like who wouldn't want to get their hands on that? If you're collecting these cabinets, that's something that's really cool. And this was well done. You guys saw the video, right? So it's a lot of cool things. I think that's a little bit of the update that I have. I don't know if there's anything else off the top. There's always moving mod projects in the background, right? So we're always kind of working and thinking. But my focus is on the XL cabinets. Like that's where the meat and potatoes of everything is going to be, and we're going to talk about that too tonight. End of line. Thank you so much, man, for being here. Hey, rock on. Ted Adam Green. Speaking of Ted Adam Green, he is here. Hey, Danny and gang. And Sir Saga, thank you so much, man, for shooting me all of the emails. We got to make sure that your Golden X gets completed. I think GI Joel here is any day now. You should be getting that control panel and finishing up. Sir Saga is doing the same mod that we did, and he's copy clone 1 for 1. So it's gonna be really exciting once that's complete. But thank you for stopping by. Dr. Torque is in the building. Let's go. Thank you so much, man, for being here. John J. Thank you so much, man, for stopping by. Let's do this. What up, CornerCade and chat? Cat Dad Arcade. Actually, Cat Dad, I didn't even know you had a YouTube channel. I actually stumbled upon your channel, and you were at the Nebraska Furniture Mart, and we saw, you know, James Hates Everything's video when he toured that. It was huge, right? They had all the one-ups. Guys, they don't got anything now. They're like in a small little corner. A lot of it is just taken up by, you know, Nintendo Switch, Sony, Xbox, and it's all relegated to just a little sugar shack in the corner. And that, man, it just, like, you see the collapse. I don't know if they're trying to save money or if they're just really shrinking down, but it's kind of sad to watch that video, you know. Chris C, another big channel member. Let's go. Yo, thank you for supporting the channel as always, man. Let's see where we're at. We'll see where we're at. Whoa, my thing just went haywire. It just literally went all the way down. Jason Haley, we're bringing it tonight, baby. We're bringing it. Hold on, there's something I can play. I'm sure if I go to my media assets here, this is what we usually play. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There's something. It's something. Oh yeah, here it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble.
Jason, is that bringing it? Let's go, man. Let's do this. Thank you for being here. Sony 4K, another one of the channel members, the CornerCade crew in the building, baby. Tons of Let's Goes. And there should only be Let's Goes because this is an exciting time for Home Arcade, guys. We are on the precipice of heading into Q4. It is going to be rocking and rolling. Even if you're a deluxe fan, guys, if you're a deluxe fan, you're still going to have some cool options out there. If you're an XL fan, you got a couple more, and this is going to be really, really exciting. John J says 2026 is going to be super expensive for all of us. Arcade and console. Halo 25th anniversary console is going to be amazing. That would actually look pretty cool. I'd like to check that out, see a picture of that, and I hope we could get rid of some of the bots to get one. Yeah, it's going to be, save your money. That's why we did a lot of purging and selling, and I started moving some more cabinets. We're gonna see what we do here and see what we got going on. We got a lot of things in play, and like an arcade is ever evolving. It's funny because I just want to be set. I want to just buy the games, have them, boom. And I think with the direction of everything, I truly think that the XL line will be like the set stone final, like that Alpha 2 cab. Like I would never sell that unless I was done collecting arcades, or like, the double dragon cab, if that ever came to fruition. Like that is going to be a mainstay until you run out of room, right? And you're like, you got to see, okay, which one doesn't get gameplay, but maybe I save that one, put it in a box for if and when I get a bigger space, right? Like this is kind of like the quote unquote end game, right? Like Glenn always says, like, this is the FU is his end game. Well, this might be the end game of like, you're not just constantly flipping, you're not upgrading, because these cabinets look phenomenal. They look absolutely gorgeous, and that's like what they should have been, right? You're not getting rid of a riser. You're not, dealing with a washout marquee. Like this is it. There's really nowhere else to go from here. Now it's just collecting the games at the end of the day. So I'm hoping I don't have to keep doing this. 100% support. Let's go, J-Rod. That's right, man. Let's go. I agree with you. No Switch. Like, I love the Switch and all, but we're here for arcades, man. Like, this is the meat potatoes, Like, the Switch is cool. It's got, like, cool games, beat 'em ups, My wife and I, we used to love playing Mario Party. I might get a Switch, again, to play with her. Just lay in bed, play Mario Party, have some fun before bed, right? I think it would be kind of cool if we ever got a little, extra cachet laying around, but we'll see. It's like, it's about the arcades, man. That's why you guys are here, baby. Robert Brown, what's up, Danny? Let's go. That's right, baby. I think I actually have one of those. Hold on, let me see. Let me check. We're dusting these off. There we go. I probably blew everybody's eardrums off with that, so I do apologize in advance. Sony 4K rocking it out. He's using all the emojis, dude. Those are the emojis that you guys can use, so let's go. B. Kirby, the Chicago arcade guy. Thank you so much, man, for being here. As always, man. Big time supporter. Loved it. Sir Sega. G.I. Joe mailed my deck out today. Should have it on Monday. Can't wait. I knew it. I had a feeling. I had a feeling in the air. I had a feeling, man. And I'm waiting on my G.I. Joe deck, too. I got one coming for to make a 2-player NBA Jam XL. Not so big and bold and bad anymore. I want to bring it down so I can fit more arcades in, for sure. Stupid Fat Hobbit. I'm curious to see what is under the orange rug in James' post last week. He wouldn't say who or what. Surprise, Cuber Cat, Basic Fun. Oh yeah, I did see that post. What is he hinting at? Is he trying to say that what we're saying, that there might be one more coming from Basic Fun? That would be exciting. We still kind of got to talk a little Arcade1up. They're trying to stay a little relevant. You know what I mean? Brian Whitney, thank you so much, man, for being here. Let's go. Oh my goodness. I had a phenomenal meal. So we had like a late lunch, early dinner. It was like at 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. And it was filling. It was spaghetti, but it was made like the sauce was made like authentic, like from scratch. I saw like a little YouTube short on it. It had cream cheese in it, diced tomatoes, like all this cool stuff, right? And we blended it all up. It was phenomenal. It was really good, actually. And man, that's like, it's just sitting in me. Let's go, guys. Oh, Brian, thank you. 99 cents. Let's go to kick off the show. Let's do this. I wasn't even prepared for this. I got to scroll all the way up. Let's see what we can do for you, buddy. Let's hit it. Brian, thank you so much, man. 99 cents coming towards the channel. Appreciate it. We don't have to do that. You don't have to do that, but we always appreciate it. Help support the program and keep us rocking and rolling. Alan, thank you so much. If you buy a Switch, then I sell all 19 Arcade1up cabs. Yeah, pretty much. I mean, it's a whole different thing, right? Like the Switch is cool. Play it on the TV. You know, you play like your beat 'em ups. Like I do think, like, for me and my wife, it would be fine, right? Kids in bed, because you're gonna get fighting unless you got 4 controllers and they're toddlers, they're not really gonna be playing. But the atmosphere of the arcade is what really made this whole hobby just a thing, right? For me, right? And just going down the line, seeing these marquees, all the games, the attract modes, just going to this one, coining up, playing a little bit, going to that one, and that's what this was about, you know? And that's what always tied me into this passion of, yo, this is so cool, you know, so cool. And this would have never started, guys, without the pandemic, which is crazy, right? Like, you know, we got all this extra pandemic checks came in, and it saved them. Some people went on vacation. Some people invested. I don't know. I guess I invested in an arcade, and it was the best thing for my family and I. Like, one of the coolest things we've ever done. This would have never happened. It's insane, and I love every minute of it. And I get to share this hobby and the raw, real passion each and every day with you guys. And this whole channel. I never thought I'd have a YouTube channel, guys. That's like insane. Like, it's just crazy. It's crazy thinking about it. I don't know. I digress, guys. I'm going on a whole tangent. Is Real Gaming a channel member? Let's go, dude. What's up, Danny? Let's do this. Hayden do. There's channel members all over the place. I love it. I want to see a sea of green in the chat here because I can see the colors. It looks great. Hayden do says, I'm building and restoring games. Now I'm building a surf planet and modding a rush. Done with the home arcade market unless I get good live games. And we might, Hayden do. I never thought ever that a WrestleFest would be coming. And I never thought it was going to be in an XL. And I'm going to double down and say, guys, I've never thought a Centipede XL was coming. Like, we've been so hamstrung on what Arcade1up has told us is possible and not possible based on what they believe or what they could get done. And it is such a breath of fresh air to see another company say, yeah, we got this, guys. This is easy. This is light work. We've been doing this for ages. We're in with the retailers already. We already have the connections. There's such a bigger company where it's like, okay, let's get this party started. So where Arcade1up kind of took the ball and ran with it and dropped it, Basic Fun is grabbing that sumbitch, and it's really cool. I never thought, guys, real talk, I never thought I would see an Alpha 2 like XL. That those pictures, unbelievable. Like the stuff that John D hopefully can deliver here with Iconic Arcade. So the stage has been set, guys. You know, could there be other companies rolling in? Hell yeah. And maybe iron sharpens iron, as the old saying is, and Arcade1up wakes the hell up and says, whoa, we don't want to, everybody else is dipping in this pie. We gotta do something, right? We gotta do something. And something was kind of hinted, and we will talk about that tonight, guys. G.I. Joel is fired, just to let you know. Chris Nooner is in the building. What's up, Poopy Pants? Feeling not about our Arcade1up talk. We'll just touch on it. We'll just touch on it a little bit. It's not gonna be anything crazy. All right, Big Fish says, I'm here. Now you can start the show. Okay, let's start the show, guys. Let's do the intro all over again. Let's fire it up, baby. Do I have a... I don't think I have a... Let me see. Do I have a...
Perfect.
Fatality. Finish him.
I don't know. Are these too loud for you guys?
Perfect. Combo breaker.
That could have been a little bit loud. Let me know. I know they're different volumes, but now we can start the show, guys. Johnny Blaze, thank you so much, man, for being here. What's up, man? Let's go. WrestleMania is going to be a huge, for based upon WrestleFest If they got WrestleMania, that would be huge. But WrestleFest will still be awesome. Even though I love WrestleMania more, WrestleFest is just going to be dope. And I said this from the get-go, guys. I said anything new is just going to knock the socks off. It could be anything, guys. Name your favorite arcade in the chat. It could literally be any. I was hyped about Double Dragon, and I never even played it before. Like, it's like, I just want to bring it in because it looks cool and it's something new. Like, 100%, right? Like, chat, get me wrong. Like, correct me if I'm wrong. Like, anything new, Deluxe, XL, whatever, it's going to be a must buy, a day one buy, because we're desperately wanting new and exciting titles in your home arcade. Even though these games never die. You know, I'll still pick up Street Fighter whenever. Would I like to play Alpha 2, Alpha 3, Third Strike more than, you know, World Warrior, Hyper Fighting, Championship Edition? Yes, the answer is yes. I like those games better, but, you know, I'll still pick up those. I'll still do the Sonic Booms, you know, like it's still fun to play. What's up, man? It's something you appreciate if you grew up with arcades. Yes, the atmosphere, right? The atmosphere. That's what we all, you know, because we could all just get a multi-cane and be done with it. Good guy, I saw on Marketplace, or I think I saw on a Marketplace, there was a Unico Nova Blast for like $3,000. I can sell all this stuff and just get a Unico Nova Blast, right? Just have it in the corner of the living room and be done. You know, but it's that atmosphere, right? Dragon's Lair XL. Maybe that can happen. No, we definitely do not need more Pac-Man. My God, Arcade1up has just drilled that to the ground. Like, I didn't think somebody could kill Arcade1up or kill Pac-Man, but Arcade1up seems to be able to do that. Yep, you're right, Danny. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's just what I'm saying. Calvin Wong, thank you so much, man, for being here. Never played Double Dragon. You should be ashamed of yourself. Okay, I am 39, guys. Full disclosure, okay? So I'm a little bit younger. I wasn't like born and raised in the arcades, right? But I found to appreciate them, and then I fell in love with them, right? So I played pinball back in the day. We played everything, you know. You don't really know what you were playing. I have flashbacks in my head from when I'm at like a Chicago Pizza Parlor or Pizza Hut, and you see the Neo Geo, you see the cabaret cabinets, and you're like, oh, like I would always play on those. You know, I tell this story all the time when my mom and dad, and we went as a family, we went down to Poochie's. I think it's in, Herms. It's in Herms. Oh my God, guys. I know I told you this. So when my family and I went down to the Shed Aquarium, it might have been like last month, right? In Chicago, right? Our navigation was supposed to loop us on the highway, but we took it took us all the way around Illinois. Like it just wanted to take us on a tour, right? And it's almost like it was meant to be. Cause you know, we're going through traffic, right? If 45 minutes later, I'm like, honey, what is this navigation doing? You know, we're getting closer, but like it's taking us on a weird route. And so all of a sudden, I mean, guys, I haven't been back in Skokie, Illinois for 25 plus years, since 2004. So we drove through, I'm like, I immediately turned and I'm like, holy crap, that used to be Best Buy. I'm like grabbing my wife right as I'm driving. I'm like, that used to be Best Buy. My mom used to take us there all the time to pick out, you know, games and movies to rent. And it was next to this like synagogue, and it had like steel. It was a weird design, and this design never changed. It had like circle oval windows. It was really weird. So we keep on. I'm like, holy shit, we're in Skokie. Like it just popped this out. Guys, you gotta understand, 25 years, that's a big gap of building, construction, everything's different. We ended up eating at McDonald's when I used to go there as a kid, like a high schooler. I digress. But down the road there is Herms. And Herms, guys, is a mom pop. It's still there. I was like, no way. Herms is still there. We used to go there and get like the best Chicago dogs. And I remember playing Mortal Kombat 2 there. Now, am I playing it? I don't remember that. I remember I was hitting the buttons and the sticks, probably in the attract mode, right? And I'm sure my parents threw me some quarters and I coined up and got my tail whipped, right? But I remember that. And that's why this machine stays, you know, sits here, right here. And it's like, I remember that artwork. I remember all about it. And everybody here has their own stories, right? And then when I started to go to arcades, you would see these all over the place. Then when I started going to arcades, it's like, holy cow, this is like Candyland. It was phenomenal, amazing, you name it. Still got to make a trip to Galloping Ghosts because that'll probably knock my socks off, guys. I got to be honest with you. But those are all Is there a Poochie's in Skokie? I know there is a Poochie's. I'm sure we went there, but isn't Poochie's like a drive up where they come out with roller skates? Or am I thinking something different? Big Kirby's gonna know. He's a Chicago guy, baby. Let's go. Speaking of Chicago guy, where's Ezekiel? He knows I'm live. We should be in here right now. Should I text him? Get in here. Where do I leave off here? Where do I leave off? Vic Vicious. Hey, I went down memory lane here and I had to tell the story, guys. I'm sorry. Danny, I got the retro Arc soft mod down, and it has WWF WrestleFest, and I'm getting what Joel and Zabos for a true 3/4 scale WWF cab. No, get the F out of my arcade. That is hilarious. That's awesome. Vic Vicious, you're doing it right. That's really cool. Now, it's not for everybody though. I'm just gonna buy it. I'm just gonna buy it, and then, but there's other mods that we can do that. The Golden Axe Dynamo. Like, will that happen? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Relapse, MKXL, please and thanks. Hopefully there's an XL. When we start talking Arcade1up here in a second, hopefully there is an XL. That's my fingers crossed on that one. The arcades carried over in the 90s, so that's okay. Those Pizza Arcade corners were something else. Yeah, it's a fun time, man. And it's cool to just be able to relive those memories. It's unbelievable. You guys keep talking. I love it. Keep the flow conversation going. Mercy Murph Dog, thank you so much, man, for being here. Street Fighter round pizza table, man. Like those pub tables or something. Unbelievable stuff. Yeah, when we used to go to the Pizza Hut buffets, man, that was bomb. Oh my God, there's their pasta, the Cinesticks, and then you could play arcades. Like it was so, we didn't know what we had right until it's gone. That's the feeling here. Yeah. Chris Nooner says, I wish we had places around when I was a kid. Good memories, but they're all really gone now, sadly. Yeah, I mean, so I'm lucky enough to have a couple retro arcades in my area. We also have the round ones, and I'm good with the VR and the claw machines. I don't need that in my life. But I really love the retro arcades. That's what's up. That's an arcade to me. Some of these new arcades, like that's not an arcade. I don't know what that is. But it's a hot mess, what I'm thinking it is. But it's each their own. I'm sure my kids will love it, and we'll kind of, both share a love for that. But let's go. Fourth Horseman, is Glenn's cab live now? Because it looks like there's only 2 backers. No, it'll be live at the end of this month. I think the 24th, but don't hold me to the fire on that one, guys. It should be Wednesday the 24th. So it's going to be a month. So just give it some time. Okay, let's see here. You guys keep talking. We got 50 people in the house. Let's go, baby. We're back. I need everybody to give this video a like if you haven't. Before we get started, guys, we're going to have some fun here tonight because, guys, we're going to kick off the first topic. I need a transition, something cool to start the show, right? So let's do this. Okay, so Arcade1up was at IGN Live. Let me get up in the corner here. Let's make me a circle. Here we go, baby. New sub. Thank you, Jason. Clinch it. Let's go. We just surpassed 11K, dude. Super exciting stuff. I'm very happy. Very happy. I love you guys. You guys are here each and every day. It's awesome. It's like a hangout. It's just a hangout with your boy. That's all. I got to do a community show one of these days. Would you guys want to come on and we could talk arcades together? All the regulars that are here all the time. I should probably do a community show. That'd be fun. I've seen Michael B do them, and I think that'd be pretty cool to engage with you guys. Now, before I get started, Arcade1up here has this booth at IGN Live, right? And what do you see there in the front row, all the way in the back? And I'm not talking about Golden Tee. I ain't talking about Street Fighter. I'm definitely not talking about Big Buck Hunter. There's KI Pro. Arcade1up, please. Can I buy the KI Pro from you? My God, I'll take the used one. I don't even care at this point. Like, these things are so hard to get a hold of, and I want one in the CornerCade. We're doing an XL revamp, and Killer Instinct is one of my favorite games, guys. Oh my God, please, here's another thing. Why would you bring this cabinet when you don't even sell it? Like, I would have, because then you're taking questions like, oh, this one's really cool. How much is this? Well, it's discontinued. And it's like, well, that's odd. Unless they're selling the show floor ones, which would be awesome. Oh God, if I was down there, guys, if I ever got any booth, it would I got to meet at games at the pinball expo. That was fun. Asked them a lot of questions. I'd be asking these guys questions till the cows came home. If there was like a basic fun booth, oh God, they'd have to drag me out from security. I'd be asking too many questions. So let's hit this up here, guys. So Keo Daikin is the one who did this video here. Amazing quality, walking around with his phone. Got it in 4K. If you haven't checked it out, I got a link to this video. Well, of course, we're gonna hit it. We're gonna hit it with an ad right away. But I got a link to his video in this video's description here, so you can go check it out. Now, he was down at the IGN Live, right? And they got a lot of, obviously, Pac-Man's. Like, good God Almighty. Now, they did do a smart thing. Like, there's Rob, it looks like, from Arcade1up. Now, the guy in the suit, I don't know who that is. It's a new face and a familiar place here. But Keo Daikin's going to ask him a question. You know, what do you got planned for, you know, the upcoming releases? Is there anything coming out, right? And so the guy in the suit says, based off Bill's video, says, you know, we're looking to do a Pac-Man pub table. So for you guys that don't know, you know, Costco, they did a here's actually the table. We can just pause it right here. So you guys saw that Miss Pac-Man pub table with the cup holders last year. They're pretty much going to do this in a Pac-Man version, which, take it or leave it, whatever. This thing did pretty good, so they're probably just going to do the same. So I don't know. It is what it is. There'll be cup holders in it, right? They should have done this claw machine, by the way, with like a bunch of IGN swag and like candy or something. They do have the balls in here, which like Keo Daikin will win something. You'll see it in a second. But it's just like they should just fill the whole thing with candy and have people play it. I don't like the balls in there because it looks like there's nothing in here. You know, it's only like 12 items. Like, stuff that thing to the brim and make it look cool, you know? But yeah, it gets the question though that wasn't asked to my knowledge is 100% Fourth Horseman. The question is, is Arcade1up going to do an XL? You know, are they going to do an XL? And so I would assume, you know, James Hates Everything is in that boat pretty strong with that they're going to do an XL Pac-Man 45th anniversary, which I guess I would get because I'm in the XL craze, but I got to really see what it looks like, right? I got to see what it looks like. And so they've been at IGN Live now for the second year. They were last year, kind of just did the same thing, the big booth setups. And this is where he's kind of talking about that 45th. It might be a 45th anniversary pub table. I don't know. I'm just hoping at the end of the day that they actually come out with an XL. Don't just do the pub table. Like, come on, man. That would like just be Sink City all over it. And that'd be something that I just would not be like, that'd be kind of disappointing. And I'll go and I'll cover it like I did last year for you guys. You guys can get a bird's eye view, a first take. I know this one had like underglow lighting. I would assume that the new one the Pac-Man one, it'll have the real team molding like this one does. It'll pretty much be a 1-for-1 clone. It'll just be the Pac-Man list of games. You know, nothing new, nothing more, nothing less. Which, again, they are just beating a dead horse when it comes to Pac-Man. It is just, it's exhausting at this point. But I will say this. So while our guy is here, let's scroll this forward. Okay, so he'll leave the booth. And they got the, here, let me just pause this real quick. So he actually gets the prize. If you guys want to see this, he actually gets the gummy bears out of there, which is cool. Like, that's a cool little thing. That's what it should be done. But just get rid of those balls. It's just stupid. And so, you know, they're playing the Infinity game board. We know they're gonna just beat that down just like anything else, right? But he did mention to the guy that I gotta wait on it. I gotta wait, guys, because we got this one in the building. Let's go. Ezekiel, you heard me shouting from the rooftops, baby. You made it. Let's fucking go. $4.99 super chat from Ezekiel, the Chicago Retro Ranger. I'm going to be seeing him very, very soon, Ezekiel, because WrestleMania is coming. I can feel it. I can feel it, guys. Zeke is in the building. Give him a shout out, guys. One of the nicest guys. Everybody here, the 53 guys that we got in the building are the nicest guys in the home arcade community. That's why you're here live and in the building, baby. Thank you so much, man, for supporting the channel. You don't have to do that, but I really do appreciate it. No, I didn't. We were texting earlier, but no, I didn't text him. He didn't text me back. I said, Zeke, get in here. No, that's hilarious. So he said, guys, long and short, he said, look, we got some new IPs coming. Uh, if I'm down there, I'm like, come on, man, you got to give us something more than that, right? But he said new IPs coming for 2026. Now, guys, what is new IPs? And Bill kind of made light of this. I mean, we've been burned for 2 years now. We're going on 3 years of being burned, right? What could new IPs be? A Hello Kitty claw machine. I think Bill said that, fantastic. They were down at the licensing event, kind of not getting like, Marvel. They weren't getting that kind of licensing. They were getting more like oddball stuff to probably slap on the claw machine, right? To kind of reskin that, repurpose it, and keep selling the heck out of that. It's like Pac-Man and the claw machine are going to be their 1A and 1B titles here. But it starts to make you think a little bit. Okay, maybe there's just a glimmer of hope of something. Now, I'm not saying they're going to come out with Tekken, right? And it's going to be online. But maybe there's something that they can do. I wouldn't say save the company, but maybe just spark a little bit of, okay, that's kind of cool. I would get it. But okay, let's talk about Basic Fun again or whatever, right? Like maybe there's just something there. Now, I'm definitely not saying it's going to be an XL. But it could be something, a deluxe of something, right? Something, We know a lot of people left Arcade1up or were removed from Arcade1up, now work for Basic Fun. That's, but, whenever people lose jobs, they always go to other companies. New Wave Toys, Arcade1up, same thing. They went to, they were making the new pinball machine now, Wonderland Amusements, you know what I mean? So everybody goes everywhere when jobs change and misplace, and they stay within that same circle, right? I know a lot of people probably were laid off at games, so it's the same kind of thing, right? Yes, Frogger Deluxe is coming. I don't know. I hopefully when they say new IPs, it's something that they haven't done before. Johnny Blaze says, are the claw machines still failing or did they get it right? I think they would still have their issues. Nothing's going to be changing. It's not like you can update that. It's not like it has Wi-Fi. They're going to fix a bug or anything. But I would assume the fail rate, what is maybe 2 out of 10 machines or something like that. That was very high. At least that's what I'm thinking. Burger Time, Vic Vicious says, maybe you'll do some of that. But we'll see. I mean, a new IP, that could literally mean anything. It could literally mean anything, guys. And so we'll see. I got Bill's video if you want to go check it out in this video's description as well. You can kind of go on over and listen to what he has to say. But I thought it was kind of interesting. We're going to need some more, though. We got to wait till 2026. That's a far. They've made the promises before. Remember, we all said Robotron was coming. It's going to come next year, and it never did. So, yeah, Robert, that's a huge get. I got to be honest with you. This is very, very hard to find. So congratulations on the Frogger PCB and control panel. Still got my Frogger cab. Robert, I got to be honest, 100%. You are, just watch the video when we put it out. You're going to be floored with the Frogger Deluxe. You're going to be like, that is insane. I got to either do it for myself because it's worth it at that point. If you want to like upgrade, to like a better looking cabinet, this is all wood grain. You can definitely sell your Frogger guts, like, the wood and everything from like $100, as a mod project cab, and then take the internals and swap it in to the Pac-Man Plus Deluxe. It's going to look awesome. All right, let's go. Nick, we got a new name and a familiar place. Nick Gonzalez is in the house. Let's go, baby. Says first time live. Been becoming a part of the community for the last few months. Well, thank you, man, for being here. Let's go. Hopefully you can stick around and be a continuing member of the CornerCade crew and have a lot of cool, fun times.
Let's go!
Combo breaker!
He's on fire!
Okay, I blew everybody's eardrums out already now. Thanks so much, man, for being here. Nick, let's go, dude. Let's go. Okay, so that was like the one-up news that I kind of want to just lightly cover for you guys. Again, I'm not going to hold my breath for Arcade1up to like do stuff. We've been burned time after time. So I wanted to let you guys know that something could be coming and that Pac-Man, the pub table, is coming. I think it'd be a big swing and a miss if they did a 45th anniversary pub table and a 45th anniversary XL. You're just saturating the market. Like, I hope they do something different. Yeah, that's me waking up the chat, Vic. Let's go. Yeah, I can lower the volume, which is nice. So if I do a little bit of this,
Combo breaker!
Was that a little bit better? Was that a little bit better? Let me know. But the problem is when I do some of these is like that they're low.
Finish him.
So that was a little bit quieter. Like, maybe that's a little bit better. It didn't hurt my ears as much. And MKX4 would make a lot of sense for Arcade1up. I'm telling you, that collection just came out, guys. That would be a day one buy for the CornerCade, 100%. I can guarantee you, Johnny, the 50 people that are here would also want to buy that. I mean, that again, that's something that's new, fresh, exciting. Like, oh yeah, I'm on board. And the cool thing about those is that people like Vic and the rest of the people that mod here is you can pick a couple of these cabs up because that midway body style, which is your basic cabinet design, where you can go and kind of mod some things with that. You can do some really cool stuff, man. So B Kirby's doubling down here. Pac-Man XL and a pub table at Costco this summer. I'm hoping that there's a Pac-Man XL. I missed out. B Kirby is so funny. So I texted B Kirby. There was a Pac-Man XL that just needs a new PCB, right? I was on Marketplace for $100. I texted him. I was like, dude, can you get this for me? Because he lives right in Chicago. He'd bring it up for me. He's already said that. I was like, dude, can you go get this? And he said, I'm already getting it. I bought it. I'm like, you mother trucker. he beat me by like 30 minutes to an hour on it. And I was like, oh my God, I was so close. So, I mean, a Pac-Man XL for like $100, and it wasn't like beat up at all. B Kirby owns it, so congratulations to him. I think he said he was going to make it to a Miss Pac-Man if he can. But if I could still get my hands on an XL Pac-Man, being a 45th anniversary might still be cool. I got to see what it looks like. If it's too funky, I don't know. Like, I mean, and I'm saying that, and I own the Midway Golden Tee, right? Oh, by the way, I had some push here to take the Midway Golden Tee, guys, and make that into a Turtles XL. Now, I'm kind of on the fence here about doing that. Do I do that knowing Basic Fun has already said we got Turtles, we're coming out with it, they're going to make it an XL, right? Or do I just leave it because I'm kind of destroying some games there because I wouldn't have Golden Tee then, and I wouldn't have some of the Midway games on there? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what to do. The PCB was available. I have it in my possession. It's the PCB to the Gen 1 cab of Turtles, and that's how I would skin it, is the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle art, not the Turtles in Time. Even though I like that game, I just don't like the cab. Looks very goofy. But what do you think, chat? Like, should I dare do that, or should I just leave it and wait for Basic Fun? Because they've already announced it. Turtles could be the third title that's coming in a couple of months, or it could be coming next year. Who knows, right? Who knows? Calvin Wong said, leave it alone. I'm kind of leaning towards it. Simpsons XL would be kind of cool. You know how we do it here. We would make that phenomenal. We would make it phenomenal. Nick says, I'd leave it for now unless Turtles XL doesn't drop. And that's a good point. Like, I have the PCB and encoder board. I mean, this was very sought after, guys. Much like Burger Time, much like Frogger. People don't have this. I got it. So I can hang on to it and then kind of see, okay, what happens? And what does a cab look like? Maybe it looks really goofy and I'm like, hey, I could skin this a lot better. Let me just make my own, right? So I guess that's not a bad idea and a bad plan, right? Maybe I could definitely do that. Basic Fun is definitely doing Turtles. They've already, they've already said it. Yeah, so wait on Basic Fun. Let's do that. Let's do that. Oh, I didn't even see here. I kind of skipped you over, buddy. Gamer Fridge is in the building. Let's go, man. Danny is streaming again. Every Tuesday night, my guy. Every Tuesday night. Gamer Fridge was walking and talking today, trying to find a Switch. That was pretty fun to watch for a little bit. Hayden Dew is here. Danny says, Danny idea War Final Assault mod. You could run and grind and Quake on it. The War Final Assault. I've never even heard of that. But I don't even, what form factor is that? And Sony 4K says Tron XL. I don't know if a Tron would look good in that, because Tron had that big kind of the bold kind of the look. That cab style is very reminiscent actually to those Konami beat 'em ups. Oh, good night, honey. You look very interesting. What are you wearing 4 shirts? Hold on, crew. Hold on. Are you going to bed? Why do you have 2 shirts on?
Mommy said that it fits on it.
So take this off. You look like a dork. Okay.
Logan's angry.
Well, I can hear him. He's like a monster out there. All right, give me a fist bump. You going to bed now? I love you. You gonna shut the door? Okay. You can shut the door.
There's the duckies walking on the ground.
Oh, wait, they were outside.
Yeah.
I saw them.
Because Logan yelled
He yelled at the duckies?
There's no more mice.
Outside? Oh, hold on. Hold on, guys. Logan wants to say goodnight. Hold on. My son wants to say goodnight. Give me just a second. Oh, you want to say goodnight, buddy? Okay, he ran away now. He's all right. See you later, honey. I love you. The kids always want to say goodnight. You know, I go live on that odd time. They usually go to bed what 8 or 9, 9:30 at the latest if they're having troubles going to bed. And so I tried to start early for you guys. I mean, if it was up to me, I'd probably start at 10 o'clock. So the house is hush hush. You know, everybody's quiet, but it's kind of late, you know. So I started at an earlier time for you guys, but we always got the kids rocking and rolling, and that prevents my wife from kind of being on the show if ever she wants to stop by and say hi, because she's got to handle business out there. The kids are, my son is a monster sometimes. He's got that that feisty attitude of a 3-year-old, you know. Blast from the past is here. What's going on, man? Thank you for stopping by. Let's see. Can you list off Arcade1ups that you've partnered with? Like 60 of them. We've always upgraded to the next model of different type of cabinet. It would be a very long list, Mr. Murph Dog. That could be a whole show in itself. Super Fat Hobbit. I think Basic Fun is doing WrestleFest, Centipede, and Cubert this year. Holy cow, that's a bold prediction, Cubert. Next year, TMNT, Return of the Jedi, Spy Hunter, Lethal Enforcer, Super Fat Hobbit. If they came out with a Cubert, my God, where would you get that from? They would have definitely brought that up at the show. They would have definitely mentioned, oh, there's Cubert. You know, they would have said something because they were talking about WrestleFest. They talked about Centipede. But that would be insane. That would almost be one, guys, that I wouldn't tell my wife. I would buy it, and it would just come here. I would film her reaction of like, hey, honey, can you go get the package at the front door kind of thing, and like rush her along so she's not looking at the blinds or anything like that, and just film the reaction. I think that would be priceless because she would love that. I think I have it as my wallpaper. Let's see if I can cycle through while we're waiting here. Well, we're not waiting, but I got all the cool arcades here as my wallpaper. And I have her playing the Centipede. Or not the Centipede, the Cubert. It's all arcade stuff, to be quite honest, which is hilarious. But where is it? There's only 50 of them, guys. So you know we're counting down the times here. God, I got one. My son is so funny. So I want to show you guys because you know I can't cycle through my phone all the pictures, but you know, I finally got a picture of her playing one of her favorite games in the arcade, and it was really cool to just be able to capture that moment because we always get, you know, we bring the kids with us all the time, and you know, we never really get the time to kind of play and just relax, and she can actually play the game without being interrupted by 700 things, and then I'm trying to, you know, interrupt and help watch the kids and all that jazz, but it's like going through. I'll get there. I promise. I'll get there. I'll get there, guys. Chat. I'll get there. It was gonna be funny if I hit the button on it. Then we're gonna stop, and then we're never gonna get to see it. But I wanted to kind of show you guys. I think I got 50 pictures here. I think that's the max you're allowed to have. Now hold on a second. I already saw this picture. Why did it cycle through? Figures. This is, you know, it's funny. Oh, I got me in the Dynamo. Oh, here it is, right here. So she would get to play Cubert. So that would be awesome, dude. It'd be like a whole. Dude, that would be so cool. And that's what I'm talking about. Like, Cubert's not even like a, oh my God, like Sega Star Wars trilogy or something. Like, it's not that like, but dude, that's a new game, a new title. Like, yes, please let me add it to the home arcade. I think everybody can get on agreement of that, right? She got a lot of mains. She loves Dig Dug, but Cubert is up there. And you gotta understand too, guys. Cubert would be like because it's something new. Even my wife, who's a hardcore casual, right, would be blown away. A lot of people would be like, oh, that's awesome, dude. Let's add that to the arcade. You know, a lot of people that are just not, you know, they're just casuals at the end of the day, you know, and they're just like having their fun. Basic Fun did Cubert as a mini, so I see this happening. Oh my God. But guys, it would have been there. Why wouldn't it be there? You know, that's because did they have a Star Wars there? I don't remember. Oh, Hayden Do is saying it's an Atari game, first person shooter. It came out on a Midway style cab. I'll have to check it out. Yeah, because I'll have to check that out because I haven't played it. Haven't really heard of it either. Oh man. Super Fast Hobbit says it makes perfect sense. You hit us with a 1-2 combo of WrestleFest believing to be the only holy shit moment, and then bam, they hit us with a Cuber, and suddenly the community's like, what the fuck, no way. Yeah, that would be. I mean, we all said it before. I mean, guys, when we were live streaming this, we had almost 200 people in the house really interested on what John D was bringing with this XL World Warrior and Alpha 2 cab, right? And it was an exciting time, an exciting moment. But it's almost like, wow, an XL Centipede? I thought that would never happen. That's cool. And an XL WrestleFest? Dude, that is awesome, right? And so, like, the possibilities and, like, seeing that prototype Double Dragon off, even if they did it for that one event, I still think it's coming down the line. I think they were gauging interest, right? Because they were showing it off pretty, you keep that hush-hush if it's just a private. They were kind of showing that off, like, hey, let's show it off and see if the community actually wants this. But it would be very interesting to see if we got like the possibilities here are truly just open. And we've covered G.I. Joe, we had him on the show, him making like custom cabinets. Like, you could literally do anything. Like, I could get an XL 6-player X-Men if I really wanted to, right? I'd have to go through development and all this stuff for G.I. Joe to kind of custom build and make, but good God almighty, that would be insane. But yeah, Cubert, holy cow, I would literally have to just start purging, making room, selling. Oh my God, that would be really cool. And again, it gets you excited because it's a new title, right? It's a new, man. You guys starting to get me thinking a little bit. Like, that could make sense, man. Vic Vicious says, Danny said Basic Fun is listening to us, so let's get loud. We want Cubert's 500 Star Wars trilogy. Let's go, and we'll definitely let's talk about that. Like, so if hypothetically say they are listening, like, you'd be a fool not to. This is what we do for a living. And this is where Arcade1up kind of got just stuck and complacent, and they just said, hey, we know what we're doing. Okay. Like, I get the feeling that, like, none of those kids have been to an arcade, right? I'm not talking about round one with the claw machines and the virtual reality. I'm talking about a retro arcade. Your demographic is 40 to 60, right? Your demographic is not 23. Now, it is cool that if the 40 and 60-year-olds can teach the 23-year-olds the importance of the nostalgia and growing up with that stuff, like, this is where Street Fighter originated. That's how you keep the nostalgia rolling, so I think Arcade1up is just a little confused at the end of the day. So we'll see. Kind of sad they never came out with a Cubert, Simpson spin-off Cubert. Yeah, I mean, the possibilities, not like I'm saying, are truly endless, guys. Like, I would be floored if that happened. We would be going live in a heartbeat if that's what's gonna happen. Vic Vicious, Danny, guess what's on the Retro Arcsoft mod? Gauntlet Legends from Mrs. CornerCade. You're welcome. Oh man, Ezekiel sent me a picture. He bought the Gauntlet Legends cab. It looked like pristine. He got it for $200. I literally, like, knocked my hand off and fell off my chair. How cool would it have been? Like, even if I got to pay, obviously, for the freight shipping, right? Let's just say it's $300 or something. Like, it's just in the garage, right? And I just keep a cover over it, and we keep it for when we get a house someday, right? And I just get her the Gauntlet Legends. She would literally be like, this is insane. What are you doing? This is awesome. That would be so cool. That'd be a holy shit moment. Oh, man. Stupid Fab says Gameless and Cubes, Cubert's Cubes, Reactor, Mad Planets, Cruel, and get this, Three Stooges. I've never seen the Three Stooges, so you had me kind of at Cubert Cubes. Mad Planets would be a good one. Reactor, never played Reactor, but yeah, the same kind of cabinet design. If you go to Galloping Ghosts, they're all in a row. Crawl is in there too, I believe. But yeah, I mean, you could Cubert's Cubes, right? It's cool. Mad Planets, I'll take it, right? That'd be awesome. Holy That would be awesome. Yeah, Contra XL would be fire. So I guess my question to you guys is, since Basic Fun is listening, like what, and it seems like they're going to be making deluxes and XLs. So you don't really have to preference, but what kind of titles are you guys kind of looking for? It seems like anything is up for grabs. They haven't noted that they have a Midway or Capcom license yet. They said they had Bandai Namco. They have Technos, I would assume, right, with WrestleFest, or is it because they bought it from Arc Systems they were able to do that? Konami could be one, because they're doing Turtles with Nickelodeon. Atari would be a big one. I would love to see like an XL Crystal Castles. That would just be insane. As simplistic as that is, it's just like it's like a work of art that, with the speaker box in there. It's really cool. I should sell my soul for an Open Ice XL. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'll tell you what, if they can do it, because I heard it's kind of been confirmed that they have the NFL licensing. So if they can get, the other 50% of that on board, they can make the cabinet. I think it'd be awesome to do a Showtime NFL cab. Like, I know it's never going to happen, but dude, that would be so cool. Having Showtime and Blitz on a same cabinet for an XL. Holy cow. Big Vision said that Double Dragon cab is beautiful, and it took me back to being a 12-year-old punk kid in the arcades. I need it now as a 49-year-old punk adult. Yeah, exactly. It was just done right, so authentic. And again, Double Dragon isn't on my list. I don't even think that would crack my top 10 of arcades that, home arcades that I would love to own. I got to be honest with you, but I would buy it day one because it looks badass. It's awesome. And it's a new game in the arcades. And some of the rumors here are saying that on the deluxe version, which I assume it's going to be on the XL variant of Basic Fun's WrestleFest, is Double Dragon 1 and 2. Again, I can't make it out from the logos. Maybe you guys could from the pictures of the box there. But there's 6 games on the deluxe. And they stated on the podcast that the Supreme version, so on the Ultra version is the 2-player one. On the Supreme version, you're going to get more games. And so could that be a 14 games list? We don't know. They added an extra button so that it's been kind of confirmed. We can see it right there. There's 3 buttons instead of 2. So you got to ask yourself, what other games that were 3 button could they have put on there that are the same kind of licensor, manufacturer kind of thing? So that would be interesting to think about, because it looks like there's just going to be more games on there, which, hey, I'll take more games, more better. I've always said that since day one, guys. John J says, Danny, is WrestleFest cab arcade accurate? Yes, for the most part, except for here. I can bring up a picture, guys, if we're going to talk about this. Let me see here. Let's see if I got them saved up here. So you guys, oh, come on. Oh, I saw this picture real quick. You want to talk about nostalgia here? Hold on. Let's take Keo Dighton's video down real quick. Hold on, guys. There we go. This is nostalgia, guys. We got Father's Day coming up. Check this out. These are the dads that we grew up with, right? I saw this picture on Facebook. I showed my wife, and I was like, well, I watched Tim the Tool. I watched Home Improvement probably the most. Family Matters, Roseanne. I didn't really watch Third Rock from the Sun all that much. But I thought this is what AI does. This is AI right here, guys. So I thought this was kind of cool. So I have that saved, but I don't know. We'll pull this down. Get married with children. That was a cool picture. But let me see here. Let me see if I don't know if I have it. Like, my folders are sometimes weird. It's probably under the downloads, and I don't want to pull up an image that might be something I'm not supposed to show here. Oh, I brought this up too. So check this out. While I'm going through the pictures, we're doing picture time right here, guys. What form factor is this? Can somebody help me about this body style? Is that a dynamo? It doesn't look like a dynamo, but this is an Alpha 2 cab for $800. It is like pristine clean, and it is ready to roll from Indiana. So I would love to go and get this thing. Holy cow. Keep that in the garage. The only thing I notice is the marquee doesn't light up. That's an easy fix, guys. That's an easy fix. Well, we're doing picture time here. But that $800 for this, offer them $700, pick it up. Like, that would be dope. Having an Alpha 2, and it works and everything. There's video on that. So yeah, I don't have the picture, unfortunately. It is a big BC one. Trust me. It's a big, beefy. Yeah, that's a big one. But yeah, you keep that in the garage. I'm not putting that up in the CornerCade. There's no chance. But I'll have to cycle through my pictures here. Well, maybe hold on. Like, if I minimize the stream and if I bring up my downloads, give me a second. Let me see if I can scour my computer for this. Oh, here it is. They show it in pictures now, so you can kind of see. Oh, that was all the stuff I was selling. Dude, did I clear out my folders? I kind of routinely tend to do that. So I probably, like a bozo, had deleted all my photos. Probably should have kept those. Okay, so I don't have the basic fun photos, believe it or not. But I've shared them before. So yes, they are arcade accurate. I know the Supreme has red trim. The Ultra has black. I would prefer the black. But what are you going to do? They had ball tops, which I believe the actual arcade had bat tops. But it doesn't matter, guys. You can easily swap those out. That's not a big... honestly, literally... everything is in Indiana and Ohio. They have the best deals, the best sales. It stinks. Like, I'm tempted to just move down there because it's literally insane. A golden T-cab. Interesting. That would be, yeah, that's interesting. It does kind of, because it's got that extended out control panel. Maybe that was. Yeah, that's crazy. Even the houses are cheap. We want to get a house. I mean, look at that. Look at that. So, yeah, so Basic Fun's listening, guys. What are some... we got sidetracked so bad. What are some arcades that you got? Bob Saget, yeah. R.I.P. Bob Saget. Yeah, Full House. I never watched Full House, though. I obviously know what it is, right? But that wasn't a consistent show that I watched, really. Okay, so Relapsed Production says, the entire world is waiting for a NARC cab. Surely people would take a deluxe, but if it'd be XL, it'd be gold. And I would assume if they were going to do a title, they're going to do both deluxe and XL. They might even throw a CornerCade in there, right? NARC is one. It's a very sought after cab. It seems like a very small market. Again, I don't know. It seems like Atari is really pushing them to, like, hey, look, we want you to make cabinets, right? Arcade1up dropped the ball. We see that there's a big potential market in here to reinvent our games. We want you to do that. I think the recharge games would actually be really cool on a whole separate cabinet. But, Atari's one, Bandai Namco. When I think Bandai Namco, most people's heads probably go to Pac-Man. I kind of go to Time Crisis Tekken. But is there anything else that Bandai Namco owns the rights to that maybe they could do? Do we think Technos down the road? Like, I'm trying to think of titles. You guys threw out Qbert. That's a great one. If that's not part of their lineup, they should think about that going forward. They talked about shooters and drivers, so there's obviously plans. Super Habit mentioned Lethal Enforcers. There are plans to do some of these future arcade cabinets. Vic Vicious says, Danny, let's get the chat to shout out a list of our top most arcade wanted cabs. 100%, guys. Put them in the chat. What do you think? What is your go-to game? Shout them out. We can get them stated. At least they're on record. Where since they're watching, they kind of know, right? This is just maybe the wake up moment or the confirmation moment. Maybe it was on their list, and you have enough people in the chat that say it. Then they're like, holy cow! Like, there's some want for that, And I'm definitely gonna let them know too. Like, hey, look at Blast from the Past says we want an Operation Wolf. We think that'd be kind of cool, right? Maybe someone that, and we've never gotten an XL shooter and an XL driver, guys. So this would be new territory. Next year is going to be a big new territory for a lot of us. Soul Calibur cab would be awesome. That is Namco, I believe. Yeah, that's a great one. A Soul Calibur cab. Like, how cool would that be? There's a lot of fighters out there, guys. I would love to see Virtua Fighter. I think that was Bandai Namco. And the line says Spy Hunter. Mr. Murphdog says, thoughts on Neo Geo Unico MVSX? There might be, I heard talk from back in the day that Unico was working on like a big blue and a big red, essentially. Now, I don't know if those things have stalled or continued. I don't know. I'm not like an insider there. But there was a lot of heavy smoke from the conversations that I had. And I was really hyped about that. And they would do it in an XL form factor. Like, that'd be really cool. Big Blue XL. Can you imagine? Holy cow. That would be insane. And, a big red, Unico. It could be anything on that cabinet. I would get it. Like, I had the MVSX. It was awesome, man. There's so many cool games on there. Like Samurai Showdown, I never played that, but I fell in love with it. It was cool. There's a lot of cool games on there, but there's the form factor. They just didn't get it right. But imagine them redesigning this thing 2.0 XL, getting it right, getting that control panel right. Like, that would be really cool. That would be a day one buy, 100%. Blast from the past. He's played the shit out of Akari Warriors as a kid. That would be a fantastic one. I mean, any of these titles, guys, are going to be awesome. Any of them, because they're going to be new things that we never thought were possible, because we were always told that you can only do this, that, or the other. It was clearly stated by Arcade1up that that's not possible. We cannot do that. WrestleFest is too hard. Whatever the case may be, right? And now we have other companies that are more embedded in these other licensees and retailers and all that jazz that can make this happen. Hayden Dew says Gauntlet Dark Legacy, Mace, the grid would be crazy. Like, you can link cabinets and stuff. Silent Scope would be crazy. A big sniper rifle. Jesus. Hydro Thunder would be one. I could see Hydro Thunder if they could get somewhere midway. Hydro Thunder, an XL Hydro Thunder. Oh my God. That you can link up. Just do up to 4 players. You can do up to 8 if you want to get nuts. Let's get nuts, right? Rush 2049. There's a lot of cool racers. I mean, Hydro Thunder, I think all science have got to be pointing to Hydro Thunder for a racer. That would be awesome. Gauntlet Dark Legacy. I hear that routinely, guys. This is not, you do both the Gauntlet games. I think it was a 3-2. And, obviously, you start with the top, right? You start with, what are the bangers, right? What are the most iconic arcades? Relapse says here, MK1 through MK, 4 or 5, like, he's just saying MK. Yeah, so you go MK1, MK2, Ultimate. You put the MK3 on there too. You do MK4. You finish it off. You finish off the arcade anthology, right? And so that's like a no-brainer, right? A legacy, arcade, an ultra supreme, Mortal Kombat would be it would be insane, right? It would be literally crazy. And something so simplistic as Mortal Kombat, but it's that XL size, and it's the integration of Mortal Kombat 4 that's really going to drive that home and be like, yeah, I want to get that. I want to get that now, and I want to put it in my arcade. Vic Vicious says, here's my most wanted list. So Qbert, a lot of Qbert hype in here, and that could be really cool. I mean, can you imagine, guys, if we had, if Unico was MVS, if Unico was able to do something, right? And you had Unico, you had Iconic Arcade, you had Basic Fun, and maybe, a Pac-Man coming from Arcade1up, right? But the possibilities of owning a Big Blue, a Big Red, whatever games list is on there, great. We're talking XL here. So XL, Centipede, Qbert, it's just WrestleFest, and then, pair that with the Alpha 2 or World Warrior. Wow. It's been so dead for so long, and then all of a sudden it's just a flood rush of just cool stuff that, to be honest with you, none of this would be. Can you imagine an XL Big Blue? None of us thought that was going to ever happen or be possible. An XL Big Red, Centipede, an XL Qbert. Who here thought there was going to be an XL Qbert made? Like, all hope has been drained out of home arcade, and it's so cool to see that come back to fruition. And we're talking Sega Star Wars Trilogy, a 2-player gauntlet, Aliens, RoboCop, Open Ice, Tekken, Area 51, Daytona. There's all of those. All of those are great. All of those are great. I'm actually surprised you don't have Afterburner on there, but I know you're gonna get that made, right? So yeah, so you probably don't need a company to make that for you. Oh, here we go. So Vic Fisher says Danny Fox, 19K, not 19 cent, like a lot of people say, but 19K Fox confirmed the other night that Unico was working on a Big Red and a Big Blue. Holy moly. Well, do we know any information on that? Is that speculation, or do we get like sort of like is that for Q4 or is that for 2026? Vic, let us know. Chat, if you heard the show, let us know. PB&J, Spy Hunter, Moon Patrol, Track and Field, Pole Position. Holy moly. So Moon Patrol would be a cool one. Track and Field, I think a lot of people got sort of hyped for that one, but I think more or less it was just because it was a new title in an era where we were never going to get new titles, right? And Spy Hunter has always been up there as one of those drivers that would be awesome. Let's see here. Stupid Fat Hobbit. If it was up to me, knock out the cheap, easy ones. Cubert, Track and Field, Spy Hunter, Robotron / Smash TV, and then go after cheap IP like RoboCop. Yeah, I think a Robotron Smash TV would be a no-brainer. A Cubert would be a no-brainer. These are basically no-brainer titles. Spy Hunter would be awesome. A Track and Field. There's so many good games. I would obviously love a Tekken. I would love a Virtual Fighter. There's, when we talk XL, we're gonna get our Street Fighter, so that's awesome. You gotta have a Mortal Kombat. I'd love the beat 'em ups too. An XL Golden Axe would be beautiful. A Turtles, an XL X-Men would obviously be phenomenal. If you could do any of the Marvel ones, XL Children of the Atom or Marvel superheroes, anything around that sort of just area, it'd be so cool. If Unico was able to do a Capcom vs SNK 2 cabinet or a Capcom vs SNK cabinet, just any of those collections on there, that would be awesome if that was able to be happening, or if Basic Fun could do something like that. Like, yes, that would be awesome. Right here, Vic Vicious says, yes, finally, free MK4 already. Honest answer, what cabinet in the CornerCade is played the most? Is it by me, or is it by the children or my wife? Because there's the pinball, I touch that all the time, which is insane. I didn't think I'd like it like as much as I do. I think it was gonna be cool. It's crazy. My wife still is like, we need a real pin in the house, so she is full court press on the Wonderland pinball. And I was like, well, you should have told me that when the Kickstarter was going on. I knew you wanted it, but I didn't know you really, really, really like over. She's just more physical pinball than virtual. It's crazy. But for me right now, I've been playing a lot of Darkstalkers, because that's a fresh mod that we got. Love the Golden Axe mod that we did. I always hop on Street Fighter, plays Guy. I'll do a little Sonic Boom action. My kids will always play the Fast and the Furious cabinets. But yeah, I mean, I really tend to touch everything, at the end of the day. There's a whole, I was actually playing Time Crisis. I just picked up Time Crisis and was playing it. It's cool to have the games because, you can then go to something else, and something you're like, I have an option, it's like, because you see it, you're like, yeah, Time Crisis, I'm gonna play that, and a multi-cade. You guys saw we were trying to stream the other day. We were playing the Netflix game, just scrolling through games, and we weren't really like, we weren't really finding anything. We played WrestleFest and it was like crashing. I knew it was going to. I need a better computer to be able to stream some gameplay for you guys. But yeah, I'll tell you what, like, doesn't get a lot of play. I don't really play the Midway Golden Tee off that often. I do pick it up for the Golden Tee games, but I don't play like the Midway games on there really. And I got that for $200. That was a must buy. And guys, if it came down the line, it's a perfect kind of shell to mod with. I was thinking about Buck Hunter. It's, I'll tell you this, Buck Hunter and Time Crisis, I want to upgrade to the 19-inch monitors. But I had some bad experiences with Buy Stuff. Buy Stuff Arcade, I got the 19-inch monitor for NBA Jam, and in the bottom section, it's already dark. It's like black almost. It's like discoloring. And I reached out to them. They reached out to me, kind of didn't know, haven't seen this before or anything. Okay, well, that's great. Can I get a replacement or something? Like, come on, guys. Like, I got this cab down, and I haven't heard back from them since. So, come on, guys. You gotta kind of like take care of your customers here, right? Am I wrong? So I'm kind of weary about buying, because their monitor is like $215. And when I priced in the checkout, and I was like, that's a lot of coin, because I want to upgrade. I would love to keep Time Crisis and Big Buck Hunter in the arcade, because I don't know what we're gonna get shooting wise in the future, And Time Crisis is one of my favorite shooters, so that I wouldn't go anywhere, right? So I was like, well, I can upgrade them to 19-inch, kind of bring them into an XL, right? Maybe boost them up like 4 inches or something, and bring them into that XL like land, right? But it's a lot of coin to spend on something that, I mean, I just got that NBA Jam monitor not more than a month ago, and it's already, shit in the bed. So I don't know if I want to do that. And again, all the other monitors are working just fine. So I don't know. It kind of stinks at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, I hope that answered your question. That was a elongated answer. Everything gets played for the most part. Old gamers in the building. As an arcade collector, I love collecting the cab for real. I had a notification from Arcade1up about this Pac-Man 45th, and I'm like, not another Pac-Man. I'm just tired of them. And yes, old gamer, thank you. It's a new face in a familiar place. That is our full consensus of a community to understand that Pac-Man has been played out. It doesn't matter what you do. You could release a baby Pac-Man and it's still played out. It is so beaten to the ground that we can't take it anymore, really. So the fact that Arcade1up really isn't going to do anything, and that's the announcement of that's the new cab. It's like, oh God. At least I guess it's an XL for those of you that missed out, but still, yeah, it's pretty bad stuff. But I appreciate you being here, man. Hayden Dude said I was gonna say Gauntlet Legacy, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. We're getting a lot of votes for that. That's a lot of hype. That's interesting. You know, my wife loves that. I think my top three for wife. I don't want her hearing this, but it's Gauntlet, Cuber, and Dig Dug. Like those are her go-to. Those are her top three. I can you imagine a Dig Dug? They have Bandai Namco, a Dig Dug XL. That would be badass. Holy cow! Like that would be really cool. It's like that would be something I'd be into. But who knows, right? Who knows? The Williams multi-K cab, that was a real one that was made. Yes, Cowboy Wong, that was awesome. I've seen that before. I think it's really cool if you don't have a lot of space. You got Bubbles, you know, Sinistar, Joust, everything's on there, right? Everything's on this. It's kind of actually cool. Like if I had a basement with a real arcade, might get something like that just to kind of combine everything into one. But that could be a cool multi-Cade for the home arcade usage. You get all those games on there. That actually would be really cool. I'd be down for that, actually. An XL version of that. That could be awesome. Sony 4K, I never see this happening, but he's shouting out Crazy Taxi for Basic Fun to make. That might be a little bit hard because of all the licensing issues. But hell, if there even like WrestleFest happen, I mean, I think they could probably challenge to do anything. And I think they might even enjoy the challenge of trying to do that. Blast from the Past says, I must be the only person who liked the wrestling game, The Main Event. That was a good game, very underrated game, and I think that will be. Won't that be on the cabinet as well? What are the games that are going to be on there? It's Superstars, Matt Mania, both underrated games that are pretty much confirmed at this point to be on there. I mean, it's got to be 100% because those are wrestling games on that thing. Brooklyn Menace, thank you so much, man, for being here and stopping by. Scrolling down here, Virtual Cop. That could be awesome. Mariah saying a Tekken cab. I think I'm on board with Tekken. It doesn't even have to be online, guys. I got to be honest with you. You don't have to have it online. Don't worry about having Code Mystics do all this bologna sausage. Just get them to make the game, and we'll be happy. I think at this point, we'll take it. The online is not important as much as it once needed to be. For updates, it's great, but no. I'd rather just have the cab. Oh, look at Mr. Home Arcade XL is in the house. Paul Mindeman, let's go. Tekken XL for the win. Yeah, you got Bandai Namco. Put a Tekken out. That literally, dude, can you guys imagine having an XL Cuber, Tekken, and WrestleFest in your arcade? Like, who would have thought a year ago that was even a possibility? And here you have Basic Fun just like mad scientists in the lab making all this happen. Like, that's insane, man. That speaks volumes. And I'm 100% on board with Sega Star Wars trilogy. You have to do that. If they could get that run, that would be amazing. Mike Hawker says, buy stuff. Says the 3-wheel pedestal deck launching soon. After that, they'll be doing the 2-wheel arcade 1-up mods. Yeah, those were really cool back in the day. I was always thinking about maybe getting a ALU and transforming that into a Super Sprint. That was one of my kind of XL mods because we were going XL, and I was like, yeah, that'd be really cool to reskin this as a Super Sprint. That would be badass. So it's always a thought I had for sure. Vic Fisher saying Fox didn't give a time frame, just stated that they're in work on both. And yes, Afterburner is my top, but you already know what's happening. Robotron and 6-player X-Men. Let's fucking go. Yes. That's awesome. Dude, there's so many possibilities now. It's great. And if you think about it, guys, we used to talk mad Arcade1up, right? For like an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours. Arcade1up was about 10 minutes of the show. I was like, okay, here's what they're going to bring. Hopefully it's something good. Wouldn't hold my breath. until they actually get it done and kind of deliver on whatever they have left, which, they said they possibly have new IPs coming in 2026. We'll see. This company, Basic Fun, is getting it done. Like, that's what we're on board for. And we've always said we don't care who's making the games. We just want the games in the right form factors and in the right shape, style. I do agree, Basic Fun, if you're listening, you got to include the coin door on everything. Why did you take the coin door off on your deluxe/ultra line? Why? It's priced at the same $4.99 that Arcade1up was doing it for. It's the same factory. You got to make it happen. You got to put the coin door back on those things, at least for future releases. It's going to look dumb when you got an arcade with some coin doors, no coin doors. You don't have to necessarily light them up. We know how to mod it and do that, but you got to have the coin door on there. That's a must have feature. You got to put that back on there. All right, B Kirby saying Moon Patrol, Pole Position, TMNT, Cubert, Donkey Kong are realistic. When was the last time we said Donkey Kong was realistic? Isn't that crazy? The possibilities that Basic Fun could possibly do that. But yeah, that'd be awesome. We're talking Moon Patrol, Pole Position, TMNT, Cubert, all XLs. They're going to do deluxe and XLs. Wow. I mean, it's truly, truly kind of remarkable there. Hold on. I'm getting a text from my wife real quick. Hold on. Let me just message her real quick. Okay, there we go. The house is under control. The kids are in bed. Let's do this. All right, let's see. Old Gamer says, better if we had Donkey Kong Cab, but you already know Nintendo's a jerk. Yeah, they said it was tough in that podcast, but they didn't rule it out. And the guy that was interviewing the other guy at Basic Fun said he would love to have a Donkey Kong. Like, that would be his go-to. So if we've seen this happen before, remember Spreetail really wanted the owner of Spreetail, right? The mainstay guy wanted Time Crisis, right? He actually reached out to Arcade1up and said, I'd love to have a Time Crisis cabin. They made the Time Crisis. That's the only reason we have Time Crisis, right? So these things can happen if generated by big wigs, right? Trust me, they have nostalgia for this. They're a little bit older, right? So they have nostalgia for all of this stuff. So hopefully we can get it. That would be just truly amazing if you think about it. I keep seeing this in the chat. Yuri R Kung Fu. I never heard of that except for when Vic Vicious brings it up. So I never played it. I played Karate Champ, but I haven't played this version. Is this better than Karate Champ? Let me know, chat. Let me know. Hayden, dude, Gauntlet Dark Legacy could feature a 1-2 plus Legends along with other midway titles, 4-player titles, Hit the Ice, Impact Football, Trog. But hey, with the 4-6, you could do Smash TV Total Carnage too. I think you have to do like a Robotron cab with Total Carnage and Smash TV on there. That would be a money cab for sure. We talked about Cubert, TMNT. I mean, pole position, stand-up pole position racer XL would be awesome. There's so many cool I mean, guys, the arcades are just so there's so many titles that you literally could never make them all. So there's so many things that you could do that literally would be cool. Like, you literally can't strike out swinging on any of them. They're awesome. Let's see here. Stupid Fab says, to be honest, I think Basic Fun should pump out 80s calves. They'd be a little easier to emulate and cheaper to make. So many don't have IPs that you don't have to pay extra for. That's a good point. We always said that to Arcade1up. We said, hey, look, it just focus on the 80s games, so you don't have to have the lag or the slowdown through online and all this stuff. Like, that's why Marvel vs. Capcom 2 was kind of like a stinker. Why Blitz was a stinker. That would be really cool. I want to do the Dell swap, but I got screwed one time on eBay for trying to do that, and I lost my money. At least I knew Buy Stuff wasn't gonna not give me my product, but we gotta fix the product. You know what I mean? But yeah, then I got to decase everything. It's a little bit more work. Miss Murph Dog says, do you regret selling Yoga Flame? And how much did you sell for, if you can remember? Are you trying to get pricing, buddy? I don't regret it. I don't regretting selling any of the risered cabs, except maybe Dragon's Lair Tron. But again, we didn't play him enough, and if I would have held on to him, maybe you can get him for a little bit of money. I sold Yoga Flame for 400. I usually sell my cabs for 400. I sold Frogger for that much. But yeah, I usually sell them for like around 400. No more, no less. It's literally, that's like the sweet spot. That's like the sweet spot that people want to pay. So you just need a Home Arcade make a Pac-Man cabs. Yeah, no, thank you. There is a Pac-Man pub coming to Costco. If there's an XL, it'll be a good sign that something is other than Pac-Man. I don't think so. I think they're going to do the 45th anniversary, Mike Hawkers, of Pac-Man as an XL. If they do an XL for sure. That would be my 2 cents. B. Kirby, Tekken needs more than a PCB to run it, so don't hold your breath. Maybe Iconic Arcade will do that since it's a Pi 5, and seems like maybe Basic Fun is doing just like a PCB style. We don't know. We don't know until we get confirmation on their lineup, what they're running, all that jazz. Jason, you're late to the party, but thank you so much, man, for being here and gracing us with your presence. Let's go, man. John J says, I remember the one wrestler with a lot of money. I wish I remembered his name. Ted DiBiase? Is that who you're thinking about? He's the $1 million man, baby. Let's go. All right, where we at? Oh, Billy Woods Mods is here. Let's go. Howdy, folks. Let's see if I can impersonate him. Howdy, folks. Hope you're doing well. Is that good? I can see you talking in your video. Sorry I'm late. Billy Woods Mods, it's okay. You're here. You're live. You're in the building, baby. Let's do this. We're talking basic fun, guys. Wait, Billy Woods, we're talking basic fun. I'd love to get you on the show, man. We got to get you on the show somehow. You got to contact me. Email me at thecornercade@gmail.com. I got to get here, right here. You got to remember that. Email me, buddy. We got to get you on the show. I think you'd be phenomenal. I think your videos are hilarious. They're just the best. Like you do a really good job in a small YouTube channel. Moderators, put his YouTube link, put Billy Woods' YouTube link in the chat right here. We got to get him some subscribers. We got to bump up his count. He's a really good guy, guys. He's awesome. He loves pinball. I love pinball too, but this man breathes, eats. He'll do reviews on every pinball table. I ain't doing that. I'm not gonna do. You gotta have the bangers to do reviews on for sure. Which we should get a pinball pack coming out here, Arabian Nights or something. Isn't that coming like tomorrow? Is that coming tomorrow, guys? Holy cow! We got a new pinball pack coming tomorrow. I didn't even realize it. Time goes by fast, man. When you're having fun, let's go. Mike Hawker says, "Don't want to be buying WrestleFest only to have to swap out the PCB." Wait, why are we swapping out the PCB? Replay value not very high for that game. So what are you talking about? Modding it right out of the gate? Like what are you trying to do here, guy? What are you trying to do? Super dodgeball? What? As an arcade cabinet? No, I mean, Fix It Felix. Basic Fun to do a Fix It Felix. They can do dog. Well, isn't Fix It Felix like wasn't that a made up game? I think Double Dragon would be awesome. I just think that'd be that marquee is so iconic. I got that actually hanging up in the CornerCade, like right up. It's actually right there. I know you can't see it, but it's right there. But yeah, like I should just look up here and see what they should do. A Zaxxon, a Berserk, a Bad Dudes, Bubbles. You just got to look around. Magic Sword. I mean, literally, you do. I got a Cubert one up there. You can do anything. But I hope so. I hope that got Basic Fun thinking a little bit, right? A little bit. What up, Maddox? How you doing, man? The new Pac-Man Arcade1up will have Wi-Fi. Yeah, if there is, it'll. I don't know if the pub table will have it, but I know that if they do an XL, it'll be there. I know it'd be foolish of them not to do it because Basic Fun has been, or not Basic Fun, but Costco has been like clamoring for new arcades. They want to get more arcades. So hopefully, again, we heard in that podcast that Basic Fun is a $5.99 value. It's priced at $800 or something, $899, but it's a $5.99 value at the club store. So it looks like maybe these XLs will be at club stores, which kind of says it's going to be at Costco, right? Which kind of stinks, but it is what it is for those of you that don't have a membership there. Vic Vicious says, Danny, yes, there's way too more arcades to talk about. Just do the ones we love. Yeah, I mean, we could sit here all day and name them, but I think you got a good, and B. Kirby, what Basic Fun has a licensing agreement with Nintendo for Tetris already. Does Nintendo own Tetris? Nintendo isn't out of reach, seeing as they already have license agreement with one of their handhelds. Well, that'd be if that's true. That would be very, very interesting. B Kirby dropping a little knowledge on us right there. That would be. I mean, I don't want to I don't want a Tetris XL. You know, that's one I don't want. But I don't even want a Donkey Kong. Isn't that crazy, chat? Isn't that crazy? I probably would take it, but that's not on my list. You know, I'd rather have a Tekken over a Donkey Kong. But again, I favor 90s games more than I do 80s, even though 80s are awesome and I'm falling in love with them through this hobby. Yeah, that would be pretty cool, man. That would be pretty cool to see. I don't know. Mike Hawker says, I don't think Nintendo would sign off on any arcade cabinet with their IPs. If they just want these products to exist, they'll make them themselves. We've heard a lot of things about that. I mean, we've heard that, they're going to just make it themselves, but are they? Like they're doing Nintendo Switch and stuff. Like, do you see them really getting into this market? I don't. I personally don't. And I think if another company could do this and you take the percentage on it, like, why not make money off these old titles that are just sitting around? That's what I've always said, man. That's what I've always said. But yeah, it's fingers crossed, right? Hopefully, if we see these things getting made, XL Centipede, XL WrestleFest, there's hope. There's honest to God hope. I hope there's a third. I hope there's a third that's going to hit Q4. But right now, we're in a good position. We got Centipede WrestleFest Alpha 2 that we know about. Plus, if you want to do multi-cades, we got Glenn's FU coming out that we're still got to talk about, But I think we're in a good spot on that train, right? I think we're in a good spot, but it would be phenomenal if we could get another cabinet. I think that would be really, really cool. Speaking of being really cool, check this out. B Kirby dropping 20 CornerCade crew memberships. Let's go, man. Shout outs to B Kirby. Thank you so much, man. Giving some memberships out. Let's check it out. Let's scroll up. Let's see who. I mean, the chat is rocking and rolling. We got Glairzilla, Rainwater Games, Pixel Traveler, Cyber Styles, Doug Wynn, holy moly, Finn's Bassman, The Garage Gamer, Saved by Zero, Galaga Guy 88, T-Grass, Tomato Grass. Let's go, man. Ton of new members to the CornerCade. G.I. Joel even got one. And so did Carl O. Let's go, man. Jay Cut, so many members. Big Kirby didn't have to do that. Thank you, man. Really do appreciate it. I love when people give memberships because it gives other people a chance. Like, oh, I didn't even see this behind the scenes stuff, right? And it's cool. You get to use the emojis and you get highlighted. Super cool stuff, man. Big Kirby, thank you. Really, thank you for supporting the channel. You don't have to do that, but we really, really do appreciate it as always. Oh, that's awesome. Billy Woods is down. Let's do it, dude. Let's go. And he'd rather have a Popeye over Donkey Kong any day. Like I said, 80s cabs are so nostalgic, right? A lot of people are going to love the 80s here. And it's cool that you got somebody just a little bit younger that, like, I appreciate the 80s and I love them. Crystal Castles, like I said 100 times, I'm getting the Centipede XL. Like, there's no hate on the 80s, right? There's just ones that, like, I only got so much room, right? Or it's like, I'd rather have a stand-up Hydro Thunder. I'd rather have something a little bit more like in the 90s, early 2000s. I love all the Marvel games. I love the Street Fighters like Alpha 2. I'm just doing cartwheels. Hopefully that can get delivered. There's a lot of cool games. MK4 would be awesome that I would love to just play, because that's what I remember, right? And there, of course, there's going to be, I would love to have a Bad Dudes XL. Like, that would be cool. Burger Time, whatever, you name it, right? There's a lot of cool games just everywhere. And you really can't go wrong. You can't go wrong. Johnny Blaze says Akari Warriors trilogy plus Guerrilla War and Prisoner of War. Prisoner of War, POW is a straight up underrated beat 'em up. That is an awesome beat 'em up. Totally agree with you, man. Prisoner of War, if there was an XL Prisoner of War, I would totally buy that cabinet. Isn't that crazy? That like chat, would you guys buy that? That would be one for sure. I played that a lot on the MVSX when I had the high-low hack on it. You don't want a Donkey Kong. We're no longer bros, Danny. It's okay. If I'm sure I saw it, I'd be like, okay, this is dope. Let's add it to the arcade, right? But like, it's not on my top 10. You know, it's not like Sega Star Wars Trilogy. You know, I'd probably, believe it or not, I'd take Tekken over Donkey Kong. Hot take, right? Hot take, right? I get it. Donkey Kong's iconic. I have a Pac-Man. I got to miss Pac-Man. You know, I understand. I understand the levels here of, like, you know, where things are on the iconic scale of arcade games. But yeah, it's not like I'd be clamoring for that title, right? Like, I'd be begging a company to make Sega Star Wars Trilogy, right? Like, that would be one that I'd be like, come on, make. I would never come out and say, hey, make a Donkey Kong. I need a Donkey Kong, right? I personally would never say that. There's so many other games that I'd be like, oh, I'm totally into. Like, I'd rather have this is going to be such a hot take right now. I'd rather have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles than a Donkey Kong. But don't kill me. This is what I grew up on, guys. I'd rather have the X-Men XL or 6-player X-Men over the Donkey Kong. But that's just me. That's just me. I'm not saying Donkey Kong's bad. I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. Sony 4K's been a member for 4 months. Let's go, baby. Did you re-up your membership just now? Like, is that what that symbol is? Sony, welcome aboard, man. Let's go, man. Once we get some of the mod projects, you're gonna get a lot of behind the scenes for Frogger. And anything else we do in the arcade. We'll see what we can throw up there for you guys. But yeah, let's do this. Let's go, man. Thank you, man, for I assume that's re-upping the membership, right? Crazy stuff, man. 4 months you've been hanging around with me. That's insane. You haven't gotten sick of me yet, right? Mike Hawker says one of these companies should approach Nintendo with the arcade as an assembly compatible with the Switch 2. Yes, we need to get like an updated Intech deck, right? Like, that would be cool. Something like that was like, you know, because a little bit more innovative, right? A little bit more innovative. That'd be a nice little accessory for sure. Let's see here. Damien deal with it says so there's 4 to 6 new titles coming from 1UP, not 1UP. We got Basic Fun, Iconic Arcade, and possibly Unico in the future here. Let's go. Danny, you little millennial, your words about Donkey Kong are blasphemy. It's okay. I played it before, but it's not like it's a banger to me. Like, we all got our right. Like, am I wrong? I don't know. I might be far out there right now. But like, Pac-Man's on a banger, but I enjoy playing that. So maybe if Donkey Kong was here, I'd enjoy playing that, right? I enjoy all the retro games. You can't pick one, you know? You can't just say, oh, I'm just a Street Fighter 2 guy. Like, you can't. Like, they're all awesome. They're all great. That's why I enjoy them. I never played Golden Axe up until I had the Golden Axe cabinet. That cabinet is badass, and I'm so glad that I skinned it as Golden Axe and not the Revenge of Death Adder. That's the one I will say. At least I skinned it the game that's a little bit better. That I like that a little bit better. So I was kind of scared about doing that. I didn't know. No, 1UP is I don't know what they're coming out with. Now hold on a second. I'm not Gen Z. I'm a millennial. I'm still a millennial. I'm not Gen Z. I'm not that young. I believe I'm still a millennial. It was like the age range that I was in there, right? All right, let's get back on track here, guys. So that's a good amount of titles that we kind of listed. I mean, Basic Fun at the end of the day. I know it's a long podcast, but if you can summarize it like this, anything new and anything reinvented is going to be awesome. A Frogger XL sold, right? A Dragon's Lair, a Tron, a Mortal Kombat, anything your XL/Deluxe or you're going to remake is going to be phenomenal. Anything that you have planned for shooters and drivers, I know they're going to be great because there wasn't a lot of bad shooters and drivers out there, right? Like, they're going to be new and exciting that we've never had a chance to have before. And it's going to be very interesting to see if they make those shooters and drivers in Deluxe and XL. That is going to be the hope at the end of the day. Turtles, Simpsons, X-Men, your Konami beat-em-ups, your Cowboys of Moo Mesa, Sunset Riders, you name it. Alien versus Predator, anything, guys, I think would be absolutely phenomenal to bring to the home arcade. Can you imagine a Ghostbusters XL? I know the game was kind of crappy, but that'd be cool. There'd be a lot of nostalgia behind that for sure. People want to put in your arcade just because it said Ghostbusters. But I think we can all be in agreement on that. And I know that you guys want Donkey Kong to happen, so there you go. Make a Donkey Kong happen, and I'm sure it would be balls to the wall, crazy sold. And I probably would even buy one as well, right? And I'm sure you'd have Donkey Kong Jr. on there, right? You'd put other couple of games on there, right? But if we can all be in agreement, I think that's where we would kind of go from there, right? I think that's what's happening, Ghostbusters for the cab alone, exactly. Like that's what that it just looks badass, you know. Robotron, you know, is the same kind of bad dudes. You know, they're all gonna be awesome. Like you can't go wrong, dude. This is retro gaming. There's a reason why these games live on timelessly 40, 50, 60 years, you know? Like they're just so cool. It was just something about the time. Like here, I'm looking at Street Fighter right here. Like Street Fighter, that's how it's supposed to look. It's not supposed to look like Street Fighter 6. Like that looks weird. Like when I see a 3-dimensional polygon or like Street Fighter EX, that looks weird. That's like, no, that's not what that's supposed to look like. You know, that's Tekken, right? Like that's Virtual Fighter. That's not Street Fighter. So these I don't know, it just looks really weird. Original Mario Bros would be cool though. That would be an awesome cabinet. I had fun doing that one. The battle mode, yeah, for sure. All right, guys. So let's switch gears here. Let's switch gears. Basic Fun is going to do their thing. They're going to be awesome. We already know it. Let's switch gears to one of our buddies here, Mr. GRS. Let's go, man. He's got the Build-A-Cade FU up. And let me tell you something. Damien, you're late to the show. We've already shown that. Go rewind it. Yes. God, I love you, buddy. Yeah, we showed that in the beginning, man. All right, so let's reel it in here, guys. So Glenn, we had him on recently. We're going to have him on again. He's actually a really cool guy. And this is awesome. Okay, I got to be honest with you. It's so cool that this guy is able to put out a full-size cabinet. Like, this is the dream, right? Can you imagine if I was able to pull out and put out a full-size arcade cabinet? Like, how cool is that, right? Like, the dream is becoming a reality. And now he's finally got this on Kickstarter, right? And now it hasn't gone live yet. I believe it goes live at the end of the month. You guys can see this. Do we need to make it bigger? Let's do one notch. All right, let's do one notch so you guys can kind of see this, right? So right now we got a bunch of followers, but you know, it hasn't really taken off yet because it hasn't started yet. But we're gonna give you the rundown. I know you guys have seen this. Let me actually back out one notch right here so you can kind of see the dimensions. So if you guys were thinking about adding this to your arcade, guys, you know, and look at Vic Vicious says our generation has paved the way for gaming's in general. Period. 100%. 100%, my guy. These games have made what gaming is today, right? So Glenn's Kickstarter here, his Build-A-Cade, 67 inches tall, 23 inches deep, 24 inches wide. So it literally is an XL cabinet. Now, the difference is it doesn't weigh like, you know, 90 pounds. This thing weighs 400 pounds. So this is going to be a solid piece of machinery that you won't be able to push with your pinky. This thing is going to be built where if you're hammering the buttons and the sticks, like it's not moving, right? This is a beast. This is Big Bertha. This is high quality. Okay. So that's what I'm really excited about. And I think it's so cool that he was able to actually make his little baby Cade up into this big boy. And it's awesome. And you guys can go ahead and read the Kickstarter. The link to this will be in this video's description, but I want to go down a couple of tiers here. He's got a 19-inch screen, right? He's got a 19-inch screen. Then he's got one that auto rotates with the game, which is really cool. We've seen that before. 26-inch screen, right? You got the Glentendo hood that you can add onto this. Okay. Does not include the games. I think it includes like Robbie Roto, but yeah, it doesn't include the games. You're gonna have to put your own stuff on here. But the quality is all there. You know, there's many companies, and we can ask Glenn when he gets them on, when we get him on, but there's many companies that come out with their products, right, that have his components into those products. Many. I mean, you could probably count 7 off the top of your hand. So obviously he's doing something right with his quality and components. I love this built-in keyboard drawer. That's really cool. Now, I don't like when you put games on where I got to use a keyboard mouse. I just want to fire it up and play the games, right? I just want to do that, fire it up, play the games, and be done with it, right? So we scroll down here, got the automatic rotating screen. That's one of the features on here. It's GRS, Viper, Venom, SBC, the internals that are running this thing. The Arcade OS is going to be what you're, you know, that's the software now. That's the UI that you're going to be able to see. The GRS 4-way to automatic 8-way gate switcher, which is awesome. Another great feature, guys. Swappable control decks. We'll get to those in just a second, guys. This is like the early bird special. So I wanted to bring this to people's attention if they haven't seen this already. Okay, so this one is pretty much your early bird starter pack, which is great. I mean, think about it, guys. At the end of the day, you got this for $1,000, 19-inch automatic rotating screen, and it's going to include his little mini Build-A-Cade. I think that's actually a really cool idea. You know, you get the little baby one with the big boy. I think that's actually kind of fun, just, as a project to toss in, right? So this is going to be for a limited time. I think it was the first 100 people or something. That's very minimal numbers there. 16% off. Now the next one is going to be a 26-inch version of this. So for 300 more bucks, you got the 26-inch version of it. Well, for 200 more bucks, you got it. Remember, there's going to be shipping involved with this, about 200 bucks, give or take. So you just got to configure that into the prices here. But this is 15% off. You get the same little GRS FU, little mini Build-A-Cade there. And this is going to be cool. And you can manually adjust this monitor, the 26-inch one if you're playing something different. Now, I've never really, it's been a while since I've been in front of a 26-inch monitor. So, yeah, I think a 19-inch is big enough, but a 26, it's going to be insane. That's at $1,200, guys. And we get the early bird packs for those as well. Now, get down to here. If you scroll down here, this was really cool. So I was like, holy cow. So Mega Pack, it's got a 19-inch automatic rotating screen for the $1,800, right? But look at what you get. You get the DK hood, the Glentendo hood. You get the 3-inch trackball control panel, the dual rotary like a car style control panel, the flight stick control panel. You get the flight yoke control panel, the dual wheels. Like, that's insane. You literally get everything you need. And they get the little mini FU too. That's cool. Like, that's a value right there. Like, I can see some value, And you can individually buy these as well. So same thing. So for $200 more dollars, you just get the upgraded screen, right? You get all the control panels, you just get the upgraded screen. Now this would be really cool. They do a double dip the chip one, right? You do the double dip the chip like they did on the Wonderland Kickstarter, right? So you can get 2 of these, right? So let's say you had a buddy, right? This for $1,100. One of you guys wanted the 19-inch. Maybe you put the Glentendo hood on that, because I don't know why you do it on the 26. It seems like a little too big. But maybe one guy wants a 26-inch, just regular arcade style, and another one wants a 19-inch, kind of emulating a Nintendo cab, right? You can get it at $1,100 each, which is pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So that's that last kind of super mega combo 2 cabinet pack, right? And cabinet, is that how you spell cabinet? It looks like, I don't know. Is that spelled right? I don't know. But here, guys, here's the optional control panel right here. So here's the prices. It kind of adds up here if you want to do all this stuff. That's why it's a really good deal, but just getting this included, because you never know. You never know down the line, like, what kind of games you're going to put on this, or maybe you change your mind. You're like, yeah, I should have put a Super Sprint game on there so I could play the 2 wheels, right? That'd be cool. Or, use the Tron sticks for whatever you wanted to do, right? So there's your prices right there. You got $150, $250 for the yoke, $130 for the flight stick, kind of all over the place with the pricing here. 20 more bucks will get you the 2 wheels, and $20 less to get you just a trackball with buttons there. And then you got the dual, the Glentendo hood here for $120. And here's his timeline of what he's kind of looking at. So the campaign started in June here. So it's gonna be the end of June. Okay. And then the end of the campaign will be in August. So you'll have June, July, August. You'll have like 3 months to kind of get this started here, 2.5 months here. And then the production, here's where it is. Freight's coming over in January. And then hopefully by the end of January and March and February here, you're going to have a delivery on that. So if you were looking at some kind of time frame, when am I going to get this, right? When is this going to happen? Back to Kickstarter. When am I going to get this? There's where you would get it is February, March, maybe end of January kind of thing. And here's some kind of ideas. Let me zoom out here just a little bit of what you can kind of do with this thing. These are reskinned, little mini FUs, the Build-A-Cade. There's your Robbie Roto game there. Never played that. But then you got the Neo Geo here. And then they'll kind of cycle through of just the different options. Obviously, here's Donkey Kong. That's probably going to look the best, right? Like, let's be honest. Like, that's what we kind of like. If you were a fan of this is what you've been waiting for. You don't know if anybody's going to be able to ever make this. So there's your kind of one chance to get your multi-cade Donkey Kong. But there's Robbie Roto. It's so funny. But who's going to skin it? Robbie Roto, right? There's Punch Out. That's kind of cool. That's neat. I like that. Castlevania. Look at that. That's dope. Oh, there's the Mario Brothers. Yeah, you got to play that. I played that with my brother all the time on Super Nintendo. That was some really cool stuff. Donkey Kong Jr. Just look at this Cuber. So fun. So that the Donkey Kong Jr. is cool with that orange. That's just like iconic. Fix It Felix would look really cool too. That would look really good. This would. You gotta go. You gotta do it in Nintendo style, right? You just gotta look at all these cool ones. They just look so cool. So there you go, guys. You got the Kickstarter. Again, a link to this will be in this video's description if you want to go check it out, guys, and have some fun with that. Robert says, I hope I'm able to get on Glenn's Kickstarter before it ends. You got a month to kind of prepare for that. Definitely. Dr. Torque says, my only question is where a single steering wheel. Glenn says there will be aftermarket builders. I usually drive alone. It's a great question. We can definitely ask him when he gets on. Yeah, he did say he wants to, he gave the schematics to, a bunch of modding companies, 99 Lives. Hopefully G.I. Joel can get that. We know Zabos is going to get it. He's already working with them. But, for the dimensions on, hey, if you wanted to purchase a single wheel, you can purchase it from there. So there's a lot of cool and exciting options at the end of the day that really could make a lot of possibilities come true of what you wanted to add for your cabinet. Sony 4K says needs to come with a PC and games list that are all mapped out. Yes, that would be very helpful because putting games on and then mapping the controls and all that jazz is a lot of work, and I don't even know how to do that, right? Mike Cockhart's great question here. Danny, are you planning to get an FU? I may be able to keep this in a different room to not dwarf the whole arcade. Yeah, because this would definitely dwarf your quarter scale cabinets. Right now, I don't have plans to get the FU. But that's not necessarily saying I wouldn't get it down in the future. I think the big thing is it being 400 pounds. Like, that's a beefy machine. It's going to be high quality, but that's a lot of weight to try to move that thing around. And if playing the arcade shuffle, those are things you got to take into consideration. Now, again, I said I'm not really a big Nintendo guy, but looking at those skins, like, they look kind of cool, right? So who knows? Maybe if I see some reviews out there, people are playing and stuff, it may be like, okay, maybe this would be kind of worth it. It is like $1,000. So it'd be kind of the price of two, XL cabinets. You got to keep that in mind. But yeah, it's easy when, shipping is free for some of these cabinets, but when you got to pay $200, it's like, okay, you got to think about that. But again, this is a much higher quality piece of machine than it is your standard kind of iconic arcade or basic fun machine for sure. Dr. Torque says I'm all in at the end of the month for the 26-inch with all the decks. So Dr. Torque, that's gonna be awesome. Yeah, I mean, that's gonna be cool, man. They'll send me some pictures of that stuff or video. That would be really cool. That would be really cool. Big Fish says, no offense to Glenn, he's the man, but his costs are too much. I love G.I. Joel's Nintendo cab design. It's way sexier, less pricey. And you got to understand too, these are two different machines. So you're looking at XL Premium, to, Deluxe, maybe not so premium. That's not taking away anything from Joel's doing. It's just the controls in there are going to be premium. It weighs 400 pounds. Joel's cab would not weigh 400 pounds. It's going to weigh like 80 pounds, It's going to be an Arcade1up. So kind of like it's a little bit different. I think the pricing is actually pretty good for what you're getting. I think Dr. Torque kind of second that. I mean, you're getting a lot here, guys. This is, a 26-inch monitor is ridiculous. I've never seen that on a home arcade product. Plus all those decks, those swappable decks. It's really cool stuff, man. It's really cool. Like, I think Glenn's, shout out to Glenn for making this happen. Oh, it comes with built-in casters. Oh, that's cool. So you can kind of wheel it around. Okay, Dr. Torque. I didn't think about that. That's actually really good that it does have that. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. Because I'm not this is, my heart is with, 90s, and then you gotta know too how to like put games on this thing. Like I know it sounds stupid, guys, but when I mod these things, I just take the Arcade1up internals. It's pretty easy peasy lemon squeezy. I don't know how to download ROMs and all. I'm sure I could watch videos and try to figure it out, but I don't want to mess something up, right? A little scared about that. You don't know. Mike Hawker says there's actual artwork offerings is crucial for something like this. Yes, and you got to take that in consideration too. You're gonna have to pay for an art package, and art packages are usually $200 to $250. B Kirby says you'll have to know how to download ROMs. Yeah, see, that's what I'm talking about. There's no build for Arcade OS yet, so you really need to know what you're doing, unless someone does. For $1,000, planning on spending close to 2K once it's done. So yeah, you're because you got to think of shipping. So you got to think about this, guys. Shipping and graphics alone are like that's almost $500, right? So you got to really take that into consideration. I mean, that's half of what the cab is. If you're planning on doing that maybe most people aren't, but I think you're gonna put graphics on this thing. I mean, it'd be kind of goofy not to. Again, if this is your only arcade in your house, maybe you keep it all black, right? And you just rock it out, and that's your multi-cade, right? I could totally see that. Jantry G, thank you for stopping by, man. Don't need to know how to download ROMs. It has a downloader built in. Oh, wait, okay. See, this is what I got to get all confused. Like, so Arcade OS, I can just go and select the game and download it. Is that how that works? FU comes in pieces, so it only has a fully once it's assembled. Yeah, but you got to be able to move it into that position. I would need some help moving. Can you imagine, like, trying to? I gotta see it in people's homes compared with the 1-ups to kind of look at it, like the XLs, and kind of get a vision. Because I know based off the measurements, it's okay. It's like a golden TXL. It's like, but I gotta see it. I think I gotta see it in person, or like at least in a video, right? I think that would help me. I need to see a review on it, believe it or not. I think that would help me out a lot. J-Rod, yeah, wants to get both 19-inch for the 80s games and 26-inch for the 90s games at 100%. And you get your fighters on there would be dope. It'd be kind of like almost having like a candy cab, right? And that like the big size of the screen, that'd be huge. Jantry says real arcade locks, real coin door, heavy duty. I would almost want something if Glenn could get to that where it's like less heavy duty. Like I don't need the heaviness and the weight of it, even though it's nice. I don't have an issue with the rocking. The XLs don't really rock for me. Real coin door, like I don't need all that stuff, like give me like a home version of what you're doing here would be really cool. Maybe it weighs 150 pounds instead of 400 pounds. Like, maybe there's a little bit, it's just a little bit different, right? I don't know. Maybe that would be more of my take. I guess I love real arcades, but I get to go to the arcade and enjoy them. And I'll always be looking on Marketplace for, okay, that Alpha 2, I want to buy that for the garage or when I get a home someday. Yes, that's a dream down the road, right? But I enjoy the home arcade products right now because we live in an apartment and that's what we got. It's a little bit easier to bring that up the stairs. Let's go. Dr. Torek says, sign the licensing agreement and pick the titles, all pre-configured, including the screen orientation. I guess I have to see like a video on everybody doing this to really understand and gather that information because I got to see it to believe it here. Maybe Glenn can do like a demonstration. He should have one at his house, and I should let him know. Like, hey, can you show this thing off? I should ask him when he's going to get that. That'd be cool because that would really help a lot of people make some decisions here for sure. All right, guys, we answered some questions on that. We talked about basic fun. Arcade1up in the building, guys. We went almost 2 hours. Can you guys believe it? That's crazy. We went almost 2 hours, guys. Actually, we're about to hit it in about 10 seconds. That is nuts. Let's go, baby. We're back. This is a fun show. It's always funny when you think there's nothing to talk about, you got a whole 2-hour show to talk about, guys. And I was all by myself to do it with the help of each and every one of you guys in the chat. I bet you the show would even go longer if I had a guest. We'd just be back and forth bantering, right? P. Kirby says it's not like an ALU. Got to hook it up to a computer and get ROMs installed. I don't know, man. This is out of my league. This is why I just swap in the Arcade1up internal elements there and kind of move the drill and get those components going. Speaking of which, we should be doing Frogger here soon. So I'm going to swap that in right away. Channel members, you're going to see that. You're going to see that right out of the gate, guys. And hopefully I kept you guys entertained. I know not everybody just sits there. Thank you, Dr. Torek. Appreciate it. I don't know if everybody just sits there in front of the computer and watches, or maybe on your phone or chilling in bed or on the couch, right? People got me up, on the TVs and they're playing their arcades, right? And that is so cool because I love doing that and listening to other people while I'm doing that. So hopefully, guys, I can have entertained you guys for 2 hours now while you were playing through your beat 'em up or messing around with your fighter game or playing Golden Tee, whatever you're doing. You're playing a pinball, you name it, right? I appreciate everybody stopping by tonight. We don't have anything else. We can kind of wrap it up right here, guys. Get you guys out of here at a reasonable time. 10 o'clock on the dot Central Time. Guys, you know me. I can go all night, all day, all whenever. But I appreciate each and every one of you guys stopping by. 110%, guys. On the big screen tonight, baby. We're prime time, Billy Woods. Let's go. Did I do a good impression of you? I gotta know that before I leave, guys. We're gonna have to rewind that. I gotta know if I did a good impression or not. I thought that was spot on. I thought that was spot on. Guys, you know what to do. Leave a comment down below. Give me your thoughts, feedbacks. Also, leave those games lists in the comments, guys. Put your games list in the comments. So Basic Fun has this set up ready to go. They can scroll through the comment section and they can kind of see, oh, Gauntlet Legacy, Open Ice, Gauntlet Legacy. Okay, we should probably do a Gauntlet Legacy, and we're getting a lot of support for that, right? Go ahead, leave that comment down below. I'll like them all and I'll respond to them all. Always do, guys. Give this video a like. And Billy Wood says, no, it's terrible. Damn, that was close. That was close, guys. Guys, give this video a like on your way out. And as always, this is Danny from the CornerCade. Guys, we'll see you next week or whenever breaking news hits or whenever I tell my wife, I look at her and says, guys, I got the energy. I'm going live, honey. Let's do this. Let's fire it up. Let it rock and let it roll. Let it roll. Guys, we'll see you in the next one. Have a good night. Let's go.